Hey guys, this is day 2 of learning how to make a game engine, and I'm using learnopengl to learn this. So basically, I was reading stuff and it got really confusing on what header files and .c files I was implementing, and I really wanted to know like the order in which and like the process that you use these files so I can actually make it properly. So I just made this flowchart so it makes it easier. I'm gonna go one by one to tell you what each file does basically. So glad you're going to be downloading a .h file and a .c file. This is going to contain all the functions that you use, just say GL draw and GL buffer. Anything you're using to talk directly to the GPU, you're using these functions. These functions just make everything readable. Imagine it like the user interface. The user interface is way easier to talk to than the backend talking directly to the graphics card driver. So you use this. This also contains an OpenGL function loader. So basically, for instance, depending on your operating system, if you're on Linux or Windows, you're going to be having to call a function loader, which moves me on to OpenGL32.dll. This is a dynamic linked library. Basically, imagine you have an NVIDIA driver and you want the most recent version. That's the reason you use DLLs, dynamic link library. Gives you the most recent drivers instead of having a hard-coded like function, for instance. So now from here, you're in OpenGL, you have the actual function loaders in here, and this talks directly to the GPU driver, depending on the operating system, so it works properly. And then now once it talks to the GPU driver, you get here, which is the user GPU.dll, which again, it's a dynamic link library, so you get all the most recent drivers. This contains the actual like quote unquote OpenGL code, or just driver code to accommodate for OpenGL specification. So it's just an implementation. This talks directly to the kernel GPU drivers. The difference between these two drivers is one's within your program for security reasons, so you don't corrupt the operating system. And this one talks directly to the graphics card. So it goes from just say Windows to graphics card, the actual language. So instead of having some random stuff, so it talks directly to the GPU. So just say for instance you call a function draw, it's going to go directly to the user GPU.dll. This calls whatever it needs to talk to the GPU, goes into the kernel one, and this one says, hey, operating system, I'm going to go and send this stuff to the GPU, and it's going to display the image or whatever. That's basically what it does. So hopefully that was kind of helpful, and yeah.